Here's Broadway Maven co-host Mateo Chavez Lewis on what makes the Music Man so great.
My name is Mateo Chavez Lewis, for those of you who don't know me. And I'm your co-host today. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the music in The Music Man. And specifically, like we were hearing a little bit before, this show is a score, which means that all of the music in it is intertwined in different ways, more than it's not just a collection of songs.
Please like and subscribe.
You know, all the songs relate to each other musically. And I'm going to show you the most significant relationship, which is the one between the song Goodnight, My Someone and 76 Trombones. For those of you who don't know this already, these songs have the same kind of melodic structure. I'll show you what I mean. Good night, my someone, good night, my love. Sleep tight, my someone, sleep tight, my love. Na 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 na. Good night, my someone, good night. Yeah, that's kind of what the melody sounds like of that song, and that's Marian singing this lullaby to the someone that she's going to one day fall in love with. But she hasn't met yet. And then, in the very next scene, Harold Hill comes out and sings, 76 trombones led the big parade, with 110 cornets close at hand. Ba-da-ba-da-bum, bum, bum, ba-dum, 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 bum, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Let's break down those melodies. Good Night, My Someone starts like this. Oops. That's the first phrase. 76 Trombones goes like this.
Join our free weekly Broadway appreciation classes at thebroadwaymaven.com.
So we've got the same. We start on the G, we go up to the C, then we go down to this B, then we leap up to the A, and then to the G. So G, C, E, A, G. And that is the exact same in both. The difference is, and this is made evident, the fact that these songs are the same melody. In Act 2, there's a reprise where they actually sing the song in tandem. Exactly, Peggy, yes. So they have a duet in Act 2 where they sing the song together. And so the fact that they're singing the same melody can be interpreted in a number of ways. Oh, maybe it was that when Marian was singing Goodnight, My Someone, maybe she was seeing like an echo of a vision of the future, and she was hearing Harold Hill's melody and like foreseeing that he would come into her life. That's one interpretation. I like the interpretation that it means they're meant to be together because their heart is the same. I always say the music can't lie. The lyrics can lie, but the music cannot lie. And so that's why when you have this man who's like a con man, and you don't know what's really true, and you don't even know what his name is, the melody he's singing tells you more honestly who he is and what he's all about deep down. And the fact that Marian and Harold, even though they seem very, very different, the fact that they're singing the same melody, to me that means that deep down they are alike. They are kindred spirits in a way. There are, however, differences between the melodies, and I think that helps to highlight how different Harold and Marian are. The first main difference is chromatics, which is a word you will have heard me use a lot on here at the Broadway Maven if you've been around for a while. Chromatics is the notes in between the notes on the major scale. So here's the major scale. And a chromatic note is like the note in between those two notes. That's a chromatic note right there. See? That's chromatic. This is chromatic. There. This is chromatic. And that's a major scale. So chromatic notes are basically just notes that are in between notes on the scale. And it's often used in vaudeville and in very in showman type environments. if you think about, there's a lot of it in Chicago. You know, there's a lot of like, that's outside the major scale, then we go into the major scale. Outside the major scale, then we go into the major scale. And that's, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, we both, oh yes, we both, oh yes, we both. It's all chromatics. And so, the fact that he's using chromatics here to in Harold Hill's melody shows us that Harold Hill is a bit of a showman. You know, Harold Hill probably does have, like everyone was saying, stage presence. You know, he is charismatic, and he has to sell this idea that he can lead a musical band with his showmanship. And so that's where that chromatic note with 110 that note in the middle of the major scale, that's the chromatic that makes Harold Hill a showman. And that is not in Goodnight, My Someone at all. Right? I'm not playing any black keys. And in C major, the major scale is all the white keys, so it's really easy to see when you go chromatic, it's because you touch the black keys. There's chromatics, there's chromatics, there's chromatics, there's chromatics. Right? So Harold Hill uses chromatics, which shows he's a showman. That is not in Goodnight, My Someone. It's added in. The other major difference, someone pointed it out in the chat. Alice, yes, Alice, thank you. Goodnight, My Someone is in a waltz time, and 76 Trombones is in a march time, which gives them very different feelings, even though they're the same melodic shape. Goodnight, my someone, goodnight, my love. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's a waltz, right? Good night, my someone. Good 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's counted in 3, which means it's a waltz, which is a very kind of romantic or like a lullaby kind of feel. And then we have 76 Trombones, which is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, which is obviously a march time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? So we have the same kind of melodic shape, but for one of them we add chromatics, we add transitional notes. Like instead of good night, my someone, it's 76 trombones led. So it's the same melody, but we add notes, we add chromatics, and it's in a different time signature. So it shows that they have the same heart, but they still are fundamentally different people who need to overcome their differences in order to be together. There you go. Back to you, David.
Mateo, I have a follow-up question. Which
Yes.
is, you're a piano teacher. I'm assuming that a beginning student doesn't use a lot of black keys.
Yeah, well, it depends on
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the school that you're
Okay.
coming from, kind of. But I mean, the arpeggios that Amaryllis is playing are all in C major, which means they only use the white keys.
Right, so that seems to make sense that she would be singing the way she teaches. That's
exactly, yeah.
Great. Well, thank you. I appreciate your teaching us.
And here's another video I think you'll like.